Hello everyone, and welcome to another Sims 3 build. Today we're doing a small house. It's only about, I believe, 3 bedrooms. I believe it has, of course, your master bedroom, and then of course a child's. When I was originally starting this house, thinking on maybe trying to do a modern style. But it just didn't end up going in that route. I started off doing kind of modern, and then it just seemed to evolve into something else. I just thought, I thought I'd give, a different style a try, and of course it just wasn't what was going to happen this time around. So, we're just into another one of those regular traditional style houses. Right here, just trying to figure out what to do with that portion of the roof right there. So it was just giving me a little bit of problems at first. We do get it figured out. I just wasn't really too sure what I wanted to do exactly, or how I wanted that area to look. That's why we just keep on trying several different things and everything else. And in fact, I don't even think it looks anything like this when it's done. It's completely different. I think right there ends up how, being the way it ends up looking. It's just like that. So all that work, and it turns out it's not even gonna look like that at all. So but just realizing at this time that this was not going to be a modern house, so I was deleting some of the things I had on there to start with. And what I'm doing right there is just creating like a foundation piece for the stairs. I like to do that. I think it gives it a much more finished look. So basically you just kind of put a wall right around the area that you want to put your stairs in, and that makes it think that it's in a room, so it creates that little foundation like area right there. So I was just trying to see if I could maybe try something different with the oh, now I can't think of what it's called. The columns, yes, those columns. I drew a blank. I had no idea what they were called there for a second. By stacking them just to see, what kind of different looks we could come up with. But I wasn't really liking at the time what I was doing, so of course we ended up changing them. So just going through and trying to figure out what kind of windows I want, and sometimes I put them in and I think maybe I'll like them, and then as you can see I apparently absolutely hated those ones because I took them out. I didn't go very far with those at all before I removed them. Then I was trying to find a window to use. That one section right there is only a two window, or 2 square wide, or I'm not sure exactly what you would say for it, but 2 tiles, I guess, wide. And they don't really, have you ever noticed how they really don't have that many windows in the game that go in the center? That really irritates me. You have some of them, but most of the windows just don't go in the center. So that's why it looks like there's such a big window right there, because they didn't have anything else. Like, that's kind of what I had to get stuck with. So, and I felt there needed to be some kind of window. So just trying to figure out the floor plan. Of course I always lay my stairs down first and then put the wall in, and then take them out and then put them back in, just so we don't have the stairs clipping through the wall or anything like that. That's why I do that. Just going through now and picking out what kind of wallpaper and everything that we want. And I had decided for the porch area that I wanted to go with something a little bit different. I wanted to have kind of like an accent wall in a way, where just this wall, is the only one with the stone. And then I decided to kind of base my coloring of the rest of the house kind of on that coral-like color. So that's kind of where I got that color from. So I think it turned out real nice. I was very happy with the color of this house. So I have been asked before in a few of my other builds, because this house is not one that is designed specifically to a certain world or a certain lot. It is on a flat lot, so it can be placed anywhere. But I do get questions quite often on what town or world am I building in. Because this is not a EA world, this is a custom world. This is Aluna Island and it is created by the Sim Supply, and I can link it down in the description to, if you would like to download this island. I absolutely love this island. It is nice and small. It loads very quickly and it runs really smooth. I don't get very many problems with it. I have been here recently in my 100 baby challenge, but I think that's because I am recording using Fraps at the same time as playing, and of course that takes more of your computer, your processor and stuff more. So my processor probably just isn't quite big enough to try to do all of that, so then I do get a little bit of lag because of that. But when I'm not recording and I'm just playing my own personal game, this world runs just wonderful for a really long time. I'm able to do several, a few generations before even noticing any problems. So well, anyway, back to the build. We're just kind of working on the kitchen here, trying to just kind of figure out, the layout. Sometimes I lay the kitchen out and I think that's how I want it to be, and then sometimes I end up changing it completely. In this case, it looks like, since I'm moving on to the wallpaper, that I must be happy with the way the kitchen's looking. I created this house quite a while ago, and I'm really not really too sure exactly. I mean, I know what the house looks like, but there's some little minor details and stuff that I'm unsure of. But this is kind of an open floor plan, so I'm going to try to have the walls where they'll at least match no matter where you are in the house. At least they still look like they're supposed to go together, but at the same time try to have each room a little bit distinguished from one and then the other. I don't want it to be exactly the same all the way through the house. So we're just trying to get a little bit of a different kind of wallpaper here for the living room. It is a little bit of a different color. It's got a little bit more paneling, but I think it does match the other wall very nicely. And then of course this house only has one bathroom. As you can see, it is not a very big house at all. Just going through and doing the recoloring of the windows and just adding a few more. Sometimes I know where I want the windows to go for sure, and then I base my floor plan and stuff a little bit around that. But my windows do tend to get moved quite often. Sometimes they just don't seem to fit quite where I think they should go or with the floor plan very well. And sometimes I put some of them in, and then the others I just kind of wait until I'm done, just kind of see, because I don't want them to be in the way of the staircase or anything like that. So sometimes I wait. Just going in and coloring the inside of the areas where your Sims cannot go. I have seen actually quite a few other people on YouTube, quite a few actually, who do the same thing. So it must be a very popular thing to go and recolor all those areas black that your Sims are not able to go. So right here we're just kind of putting in a little table, kind of like a little kitchenette area right there with the kitchen. So like I said, it's pretty much open floor plan, so you can pretty much do just about anything that anywhere in the house, and your Sims will be able to see or communicate with others. Now right there, all I did was I stacked two bookcases together to kind of give it a little bit of a different look. That way it kind of arranges the books a little bit different and just kind of gives it a different added detail. Now Most of the time, your bookshelves that are merged into a cabinet like that are not going to work. If that bothers you, you can simply just, delete the bookshelf, of course, or what I do, that way I can keep the bookshelves there, is I just remove all the books. Now you can either remove all the books and then just delete them out of your Sims inventory, or remove them and then manually put them in another bookshelf, and then you shouldn't have any problems with the Sims trying to get to that bookshelf at all. So just trying to add a little bit more details and stuff in the kitchen. I like to take that one bath shelf thing, whatever it is, and I like to merge it down in the counter just to add a little bit more clutter. That way it's not always the same clutter all of the time. It varies it up a little bit. So I'm just going through and picking out the curtains and trying to decide what it is I want. I don't use these curtains too often. I believe these came from Island Paradise, I believe. And I really don't use them very often. They seem like they're curtains that are supposed to go on a window that's very high based on where these are hanging from. But there's not very many curtains that you can use that are not super long. Most of your curtains are really long, and I don't like them going through your counters and things like that. So I tried to pick out a curtain that doesn't go through my counters if I can. So just again going through looking for more clutter items, and put that little picture there. It kind of looks like it's on the wall, but it also kind of looks like it's sitting on the shelf or on the bookshelf too. So it kind of works in both ways. I love to clutter. I think cluttering as much as you possibly can makes it look more lived in. Now you're probably going to be wondering, what am I doing in this bathroom? Why in the world would I stick a shower underneath the stairs? Well, believe it or not, it does work. In fact, I've even, like, you can see me right there trying to put the bathtubs and stuff in too. Now, of course, I don't test this on camera. I tested the shower and bathroom and everything off camera, and I ended up having to just kind of shimmy that shower out just a little bit. You'll see it in the screenshots. You'll see that the shower is out just a little bit. And it does work. And I thought that was, a nice way to, using the space. I guess now that I'm looking at it, I probably could have rotated that shower and it would have fit, outside of the stairs. But at the time, for whatever reason, I was thinking in order to do a shower this small, this is kind of what I had to do, and that's just kind of where it ended up getting put. I was trying to put these curtains on the outside of that shower, but it wasn't working. The placement for those curtains must not have been really in the right spot, because they weren't going. So I just gave up on that idea. I said heck with it. And I was going to recolor that wall right there on the inside of that shower, but it kind of comes through into the living room. So it's kind of a preference. I personally probably would have left it come through the living room, but I felt it probably should, maybe just stay where it's a little bit different in the bathroom because it's less visible. But of course, it's your preference on, on how that looks, on whether or not you would change it. But I wasn't really too sure which way to go, whether or not to recolor it or just to leave it go. So just going through and trying to just add more things to the bathroom, trying to make it look a little bit more warm and cozy. There's only so many things that you can add into a bathroom, and I don't mind doing bathrooms in The Sims 3. I think mostly because there's only a few items you can use, so they usually, I think anyway, go rather quickly. So I don't mind, because they're kind of quick quick rooms. Now if I have a house that's got 3 or 4 bathrooms, I tend to get bored doing the bathrooms because it's all they feel like they're all the same, because it's the same objects and everything like that. But when I only have 1 or 2 bathrooms, it's not too bad. So just going on through, and looks like I'm going to get ready to do the living room area now. I really like taking that TV and merging it into like that little coffee table right there, and then you can move that TV around and turn it, and it looks like it's sitting on it. I really like using that TV for that. Like right there, you just seen me do it. Rotate it and put it in the corner like that. I like doing that because the TV is actually not too bad of a TV. It is kind of mid-priced, but it's so ugly. The TV itself is just so ugly, but putting it on a little coffee table like that makes it look much nicer. And then of course you can clutter up the coffee table and make it kind of look like one of those catch-all places in the room. So I'm just going through and getting some curtains. Normally I would center my couch to a window. Me personally, that would really bug me. I have this thing, it's gotta, for me it's gotta be centered, but I felt that because of the stairs being right there, that probably should have a little bit of space between the couch and the stairs, so that's kind of why I left it. But if I had any other choice, it would definitely be centered in the window. It either needs to be centered in a window or in a wall or something. I don't know, I guess it's one of my little OCD perk things or something like that. I can be pretty bad about that sometimes. And then I just kind of add that little sconce there, mostly for a little bit more light, but also just to kind of add a little bit of a decoration there. It seemed so bare in that corner, like it needed something. But that ended up looking pretty good, going with just that. And I'm just trying to figure out the coloring of the stairs here, and gonna pick out the railing there. I have before completely forgot the railing and then realized later, oh my goodness, there's no railing there. But I'm still going through and doing some more of the living room, and I wanted to put another sconce again right there, mostly because it just seemed like we needed a little bit more light, a little bit more to that wall instead of just a painting. So in here we're just adding, I love using those little pictures. You can take them little things, I know they have the same picture in them and everything, but you can take those and just kind of arrange them in different, different ways. Like sometimes I slant them, sometimes I have them go up and then down and then back up again, or like in that case they're going in a straight line. I mean, you can just do so many things with those little painting or those little pictures. So I love using those. And here I'm just doing, this is the master bedroom. It's not very big, but it has everything that your Sim's gonna need. Your bed, your dresser, and of course your wallpaper, obviously. So I kind of went with just a basic wallpaper this time. Nothing too too out there. I usually try to pick some type of color theme, I guess you could say, with it. So I'm just going through and trying to decide what I want to do with the bed. I hate picking out bed sheets in this game. I never know which ones to choose. Sometimes I end up just picking like some plain nothing on it type of bed sheets and just change the color, because that's just so much easier just to do that than trying to find a pattern. And it's going through and doing the rug. I use that rug quite often because there really isn't any other rug to use. There just isn't. I mean, they have some nice ones, from the store and everything, but I try not to use too much store items. I mean, there'll be a few builds here and there, and they might have a lot of a store item or something like that, but a lot of times I do try not to use any at all, because I do know that not everybody has store content. But sometimes it's so hard not to use it. It's almost like they put all their crappy stuff in their expansion packs and then chose all their good stuff to put in the store content, because I love the store content items so much better than their expansion pack items. So sometimes it can be difficult not not using some of those items, but sometimes if I do use an item, it might only be one or two here and there, nothing too major. Here is the kids' bedroom. I do prefer, if I do make if there's only one more room, I try to make it where it has a double bed. I don't, I'm aware that some people only have one child and all, but it just seems like you best be, it's a small house. If you, be prepared, you might have more than one. So that's kind of, I guess how I look at it. And I was trying to figure out where to place these beds. So they didn't cover a window, but there was nowhere in that room at all to put that bed without covering a window. And I really didn't want to delete a window, so that's what we ended up doing. And just going through and adding some more little kids things here and there. I like doing kids rooms. I find them a whole lot easier than trying to do a teenage room. I really suck at doing a teenager's room. I really do. They usually end up looking more like a guest room, or like another adult bedroom than a teenager's room, because I am just terrible at doing a teenager's room. The posters and everything I think look hideous. I don't like them. I hate them. I might use a few here and there on a kid's room like I am here, like those little car paintings or whatever, but I hate doing a teenager's room. You'll see me more often do a kid's room probably than a teenager's, because I really don't like it. I don't like I hate the wall hangings. It's pretty bad when you choose which bedroom you're going to do based on what kind of wall hangings you have, but I really don't like them. I have a hard time choosing them, and I just think it's just so much more fun doing a kid's bedroom. As you can see, taking these rugs and rotating them and making them all kinds of different directions instead of having always the same kind of rug. And I just have more fun doing the kids' bedrooms than the teenagers. So here, just trying to do a little bit of landscaping. I still don't really care for landscaping. I do think I am doing better at it than, on my first few builds. I didn't like landscaping then, and I really don't care for it now, but I do think I do better. I'm trying to do not quite as much symmetric type of landscaping. I am trying to kind of like mess it up a little bit, but I still seem to fall back a little bit on the symmetry. As you can see, it's not quite as bad as some of my previous landscapes, but it still kind of is, a little bit like that. I like the look of the messy kind that make no sense and they're just kind of there. And some people can do it so good. Like if you ever watch some Tastic Builder, his landscaping is just fabulous. I mean, I absolutely love his landscaping, and he just throws plants all over the place. I mean, they have no rhyme or reason. He just kind of sticks them somewhere, and he makes them look good. But when I try to just stick a plant somewhere, I think it looks hideous. I don't know. Landscaping is still not my area. So, but we're pretty much getting towards the end of the speed build. Just doing my last final touches, taking a look at everything, making sure I didn't miss anything, and doing a little bit of the outside lights. In fact, I think I did miss a few things. I can't quite remember, but it is fixed. The final house for the download is completely fixed, even though some of it may not be, in the speed build itself, as you can see it. But like I said, if you look in the bathroom when it shows on the pictures, you'll see that the shower is merged out a little bit, and it does work. I did test that. But I want to tell you thank you for watching the video, and I really enjoyed creating this house. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and rate the video. Let me know how I'm doing. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.